Inside of you, there are two versions of yourself. One is strong, relentless, hungry. The other is soft, lazy, always making excuses. You already know which one has been in control. And if you're being honest with yourself, you know that weak version has been running the show far too long. You hit the snooze button. You delay your dreams. You wait for the perfect time that never comes. That weak version of you wants comfort more than growth, but comfort is a slow death. The strong version of you, the one you were born to become, is buried under years of doubt, fear, and hesitation. It's time to dig deep and bring that version back to life. You owe it to yourself. You think success is going to come find you? No. It doesn't work that way. You have to fight for it. You have to sacrifice. You have to kill the old self. The version of you that procrastinates. The version that scrolls endlessly. The version that settles for average. Average is easy. That's why it's crowded. But greatness is reserved for those who decide they are done being mediocre. You've got a dream. I know you do. But dreams without action, that's just fantasy. Stop fantasizing and start doing. No one's coming to save you. No mentor, no friend, no family member is going to do the work for you. This is your responsibility. When you wake up, you have a choice every single day. Which version of you is going to win today? Will it be the one who makes excuses or the one who makes progress? The choice is yours. You say you're tired? Good. Let that be fuel. You say you failed? Even better. Failure teaches what comfort never will. Every setback is a setup if you choose to learn. You want respect? Earn it. You want results? Show up. You want to change your life? Then start by changing your habits. Success is built in silence, in early mornings, in late nights, in moments when no one is watching. And you've been gifted potential, but potential means nothing without action. The world is full of people who could have been great if only they tried. Don't be one of them. Right now is the moment you decide. Are you going to keep carrying around that weak version of yourself? Or are you ready to bury it once and for all? Enough with the complaining, enough with the waiting, enough with blaming circumstances, blaming others, blaming life. You are responsible, and that's the best news, because it means you have the power to change. Kill that weak version of you, mourn it if you must, but don't resurrect it, let it die. And let the new you, the focused, determined, unshakable version take its place. This is not about motivation. This is about transformation. You were not put here to be average. You were not born to be soft. You have greatness in your bones, and it's time the world sees it. Rise and never look back. You see, the greatest battle you will ever fight is the one within. Most people never get what they want, not because the world is unfair, but because they never demanded more from themselves. Not truly. They allowed that weaker version of themselves to take the wheel to steer their ship into the harbor of mediocrity. And let me tell you this, mediocrity is not just a result, it's a decision. A slow, poisonous choice made every single day. You choose comfort over courage, excuses over execution, distraction over discipline. There is a version of you right now that wants to give up. That version seeks validation. That version looks at the clock more than it looks in the mirror. It scrolls, it waits, it hopes, but it never acts. That version must die. Let it sink in. If you don't kill that version, it will kill your dreams. Slowly, silently, efficiently. And one day you'll wake up 50, 60 years old, and you'll realize you were living in the shadow of what you could have been. You see, we don't just suffer from a lack of opportunity. We suffer from the disease of hesitation, from the chains of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being uncomfortable. But understand this, every successful person you admire, every great mind that moved the world, had to battle their own weak self first. Before they made history, they made war with themselves. And it's time you do the same. Burn the old habits. Cut off the old stories you keep telling yourself. Rewrite the script in your mind. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation is fleeting. You must build discipline, because discipline is loyal. Discipline is the bodyguard of greatness. You will not rise while clinging to your comfort zone. You will not lead while following your excuses. You will not win until you learn to kill that part of you that whispers, maybe tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Now, this moment, this hour, this is where you pivot. This is where the new version of you starts breathing. And yes, it'll hurt. Growth always hurts, but so does regret. And you get to choose. You can sweat in the gym today, or you can bleed in the battlefield of life tomorrow. You can wake up early and face your pain now, or you can sleep through your potential and face a lifetime of asking, what if? So I ask you, what are you feeding? Are you feeding the beast that grows you or the weakness that owns you? You don't need more time. You need more intention. You don't need a new day. You need a new standard. You don't need to wait for a new year. You need to declare war on your old self today. The path won't be easy, but it will be worth it because the best version of you is buried under layers of compromise, fear, and distractions. And the only way to find it? Dig. Dig through the pain. Dig through the doubt. Dig through the failures. Don't look for shortcuts. Shortcuts are for the desperate. Look for direction. And that direction begins within. Build your character like a fortress. Make your word law. Make your habits unshakable. When you say you'll do something, do it. When you set a goal, attack it. When you feel weak, remember why you started, because your destiny doesn't care how you feel. It responds to your decisions. And every day you let the weak version live, you are robbing the world of your greatness. So stop waiting, stop hoping, start creating, start becoming. You are the author. Write a story worth reading. You are the architect. Build a life worth living. You are the warrior. Kill that weak version of yourself before it kills your future. This is the moment. This is the fight. This is the day everything changes. Now rise, not tomorrow, not next year, now. Because nothing changes until you do. And you, yes, you are the key. So turn it, unlock it, unleash it. The world is waiting for the real you. Don't let them down. You see, life doesn't hand you greatness. It demands it. And far too many people walk around as a shadow of who they could be. A faded, watered-down version of the person they were born to become. Why? Because it's easier. It's easier to stay comfortable. It's easier to cling to old habits, old fears, and excuses dressed up as logic. But you're not here to live easy. You're here to live real. You must kill that weak version of yourself. Not because you hate him, but because you love who you are meant to be. That version of you that wakes up and immediately reaches for the phone, let him go. That version of you that skips the gym, that puts off the business plan, that settles for average relationships, average thoughts, average results, bury him. Because every second you spend keeping him alive, you delay the arrival of your true power. You've got something in you that this world desperately needs, but the clock is ticking and potential is perishable. The graveyard is full of dreams that never got the courage to breathe, ideas that were never spoken, songs never sung, books never written, businesses never launched. And behind every one of those tombstones lies someone who couldn't kill the weak version of themselves in time. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's the bridge between the life you dream of and the one you're tolerating right now. Every small act of discipline, every time you say no to laziness and yes to focus, every time you choose a book over a screen, growth over gossip, action over anxiety, you are laying bricks. Bricks that build the empire of your future. But if you wait for motivation, you're already behind, because motivation fades. That's why you must decide. You must burn the boats. You must commit so deeply to your future that there's no room to run back to your old self. You must make quitting so uncomfortable that the only direction left is forward. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You need to be obsessed with improvement. And don't let your mind play tricks on you, because it will. It will tell you you're tired when you've still got fuel. It'll say you're done when you've just begun. That's when you remind yourself, you are not here to repeat yesterday. You are here to rewrite your story. Greatness isn't given. It's forged. It's carved from late nights, early mornings, lonely hours, and sacrifices most people won't understand. But those are the very sacrifices that make you unshakable, that build the kind of character no setback can destroy. And listen, no one is coming to save you. No mentor, no guru, no podcast, no hack will do the push-ups for you. You've got to be your own rescue. You've got to be the one who gets up, who shows up, who fights through the fog of fear and fatigue. The next time you feel tired, say this to yourself, good, that means I'm growing. The next time you fail, good. That means I'm learning. The next time someone doubts you, good. That means I'm doing something worth noticing. Turn every challenge into fuel. Let every setback sharpen your edge. You were not built to break. You were built to rise. But only if you're willing to leave behind the old you, the complainer, the procrastinator, the doubter. Thank him for getting you this far, then let him go. Because the person you're becoming, he's a builder, a leader, a warrior, a king. So kill that weak version of yourself, not out of hatred, but out of purpose, out of love for what you can become, out of hunger for the life that's waiting, if only you're bold enough to claim it. Listen, there's a version of you that you know isn't serving your purpose. There's a version of you that procrastinates, that chooses comfort over courage, that waits for the perfect moment. And that version? It's killing your potential. That weak version of yourself has had control long enough. Today is the day you say, enough. You were not born to be mediocre. You weren't created to simply exist. You are here to build, to strive, to grow, to push past the boundaries that the world and your own mind has placed on you. But here's the harsh truth. As long as you let that weak voice inside win, you'll never step into the version of yourself you were meant to be. Success doesn't come from ease. It comes from effort. It comes from showing up when you don't feel like it. It comes from doing the hard things, the things that require discipline, persistence, and a refusal to quit. You've been lied to. You were told life is about finding balance, being realistic, not overworking. But you don't need balance, you need drive. You don't need to be realistic. You need to be relentless. You don't need to rest, you need to rise. Every second you hesitate, every moment you choose comfort, you're feeding that weak version. But what if, just what if, you did the opposite? What if you woke up tomorrow and said, I will not negotiate with my excuses. I will not compromise my greatness. I will not betray the future version of myself. You owe it to yourself to demand more, to dream bigger, to act bolder. Because one day you'll look back and either say, I gave it everything, or I wish I had. And let me tell you something. Regret is a heavier burden than failure. You're not failing because you're incapable. You're failing because you're inconsistent. And inconsistency is the result of allowing that weak voice inside you to lead. Kill that voice. Replace it with discipline. Replace it with intention. Replace it with fire. Imagine a version of you that follows through, that keeps promises to yourself, that doesn't stop because it's hard, but leans in because it's hard. That version is inside you. It's waiting. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, that version gets stronger. Every time you say no to excuses, you feed your strength. Every time you silence the voice that says, I can't, you become someone unstoppable. The weak version of you is not your true self. It's a reflection of fear, of comfort, of the lies you've believed about who you are and what you're capable of. But your spirit, your soul, knows better. Deep down, you know you were made for more. Napoleon Hill said, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle, not ease, not luck. Effort, struggle, pressure. The weight of resistance is what builds muscle, and it's the same with character. You will never become great by choosing what's easy. You will never become disciplined by following your feelings. You will never grow by staying the same. So change. Burn the bridges to your old self. Make it impossible to go back. Start waking up early. Start showing up prepared. Start pushing harder than yesterday. And when you hear that weak voice say, I'm tired, say, good. Let's go harder. The enemy isn't out there. It's in here. It's the version of you that says, maybe tomorrow. That says, this is good enough. That says, don't push too hard. That version wants you to be average. And average is dangerous because it feels safe. But safety doesn't create champions. Safety doesn't build legacies. Safety doesn't leave impact. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to lead, to rise, to become someone people talk about. Someone who inspires not with words, but with action. Someone who turns pain into power, discipline into destiny. It's time to decide. Are you going to keep letting that weak version of yourself win? Or are you going to rise up, take ownership, and become the person you were meant to be? Stand up, show up, and kill that weak version of yourself. And let me tell you something else. The stronger version of you is not hidden in some secret book. It's not locked behind doors only a few can open. It's right there, buried under all the excuses. Every time you say, I'm tired, every time you whisper, maybe later, you're feeding that weak version of you. But guess what? Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation. Discipline acts. It wakes up early. It works in silence. It says no when it's hard to say no. And if you want to rise, if you want to conquer, if you want to become something greater than you were yesterday, then you need to kill that version of you that keeps running away. Because there's no greatness in retreat, no legacy in laziness, no purpose in procrastination. You've got one shot, one life. And if you let it slip through your fingers, blaming the world, blaming your parents, blaming your environment, then don't be surprised when life treats you like a background character. You want to be the main character? Then act like one. The old you, the weak you, the scared, indecisive, doubtful version of you, that version has no place in your future. Not if you're serious about this. You've got to fight. Yes, fight! Fight every lazy urge. Fight every excuse. Fight the urge to scroll, to snooze, to binge, to quit. Because champions are not built on convenience, they're built in discomfort. That's where your new self lives, in the sweat, in the struggle, in the silence, when no one's watching. So if you want to change, if you want to rise, you better get real with yourself. No one's coming to save you. No mentor, no coach, no guru can do the reps for you. No book can transform you without your action. You must be the storm. You must become the force. And let me ask you this. Are you okay living with regret? Are you okay waking up 10 years from now, looking in the mirror, and realizing you never even tried, you never pushed, never disciplined yourself, never truly committed? Because that's where the pain lives. Not in failure, in regret. Failure teaches. Regret punishes. So what's it going to be? You going to keep lying to yourself? Or are you finally going to stand up and say enough? Enough of the fear. Enough of the self-pity. Enough of the games. You were not born to live in the shadows. You were born to rise, to lead, to build something that lasts. But that kind of life, it doesn't come cheap. It demands sacrifice, it demands pain, it demands focus so sharp it cuts through every distraction. And you can't carry the old you into that future. That weak version of you, the one who quits when it gets hard, who talks big but never acts, who dreams but doesn't do, that version must die. And in its place, a warrior must rise, focused, fearless, relentless, because every second you waste is a second stolen from your greatness. And I promise you that strong version of you, it's waiting, but it will not wait forever. You've got to show up, day after day, especially on the days you don't want to. That's where the fire is forged. That's where identity is built, not in your feelings, but in your decisions. So decide now, will you stay average or will you rise? Will you remain comfortable or will you become unstoppable? Because the only thing standing between the life you have and the life you want is you. So kill that weak version and become who you were always meant to be.